Peace. Peace to the family. Is it time for us to move on, family? The real truth may never come out. We know we lost a precious soul, but the real truth may never come out. I think we have to recognize and come to the realization of the devil in the details. Let's just come up with our own conclusion, y'all. Because they're not going to tell us what took place. So we have to be confident in our own inner workings now. And we have to move on. We can go week for week and debate this and debate that. Wonder who's a part of this, who's a part of that. But we're not getting nowhere because they already covered up the story. We're dealing with big names, big money, people in high places, able to cover up things that we want revealed. Is it time for us to move on, y'all? Are we fighting a battle in a fight that we just can't win? Because when you have paid officials and money being thrown at situations, how can a little man or a little woman with nothing, how can we compete with these big money makers? I think it's time to move on, y'all. I'm not saying move on from our sister Kenneka Jenkins because we love her. Start a foundation, work for the children, constantly educate the young ladies within the communities about the potential dangers that exist as they're out there enjoying themselves. Of course, let the young ladies know that they are being preyed upon by predators, individuals looking at them as an object of pleasure, of lust. So, of course, continue to educate the young ladies. Of course. But is it time to move on in terms of fighting this fight that appears to be already over? Because they're ruling it certain ways. They're taking certain equations away from us. I mean, what can we really do at this point other than scream foul? And we've been screaming foul. We've been screaming foul since the first day. But big money and big names and big positions, ties in high lands seems to be taking this case out of our hands, people. I'm not saying give up. I'm only saying, what can we really do at this point? I have my suspicions, you have yours. But what can we really do when it appears as though, shit, everybody's working in accordance from the top down? I mean, when the fucking game is rigged, what can you do? Of course, we can protect the young ladies that's coming forth, but you know that something foul went down. But it's bigger than just brothers and sisters in the hood. It's bigger than just brothers and sisters in the hood. This case seems to have taken us places that we never thought we would go. This case points in directions that we never thought we would look at. And as I look at the young sister, Kenneka Jenkins, a beautiful young lady with intelligence, a strong spirit, all I can do is just give praise and thanks. I'm just wondering now, what more can we actually do? I'm right here. So if the family chooses to keep going strongly, I'm right here. If the people in Chicago take it up a notch and refuse to let this case get swept underneath the rug, I am right here with you. I'm just saying that at this moment in time, where are the people going with the energy? What is the direction? For me, I will admit, a lot of the energy was drained from the case or from me in the case when the protesters and the family started bickering amongst each other. And I don't know if we, as a community involved in this case, I don't know if we have regained our composure since then. I just spoke about brother, or pardon me, Jedediah, whether we call him brother Jedediah or Jedediah the politician. I just spoke about him a little earlier, and the question of who is he? Who is Jedediah Brown? A great activist, a protester, a individual on the front line, a freedom fighter, as he calls himself. But Jedediah Brown, that dispute with the family in the Kenneka Jenkins case was definitely a black eye on the case. I'm not saying you took any money. I'm just saying the fight in the public, the dispute, the negativity that was thrown back and forth, it, in a sense, stifled, like sucked the energy, stifled the energy out of the movement, the people that were so strong and adamant and organizing and getting together. And then when the people saw the family and the activists and protesters at odds with one another, it stifled, it choked the life out of the movement, so to speak. And this is what we have to be mindful of, people. We allowed our emotions, our human self to get in the way of the case of Kenneka Jenkins. We allowed our ego, our personal lives to get inside of this movement. And now the people are looking for direction. Chicago was named Chirac, a war zone. But Kenneka Jenkins inspired a war zone to love again, to search for love again. And here we are as leaders and activists, protesters. We're standing in the way of love. A whole area is being transformed right before our eyes, from Chirac to love, brotherhood, sisterhood. But we allowed money, the misappropriation of money, or the lack of understanding of the booking of money. I mean, however we want to book this, Brother Jedediah says, he took care of the protesters and it costs money for this, and he has the ledgers. I mean, Jedediah Brown, right? He spoke about how he can account for the missing money. The mother may still feel as though money was spent without her consent. But in the wake of this money madness, the people are looking for hope. So I think we should take this energy and continue it. Because as you see, they don't want to give us this case. We know something smells fishy. We know something just ain't right. But when we look on the news and we look at these reports, they saying it how they want to say it. They writing the story how they want to write it. It's in opposition to how we feel. But it's showing us that hands are involved manipulating and directing the narrative. All we can do now is go into our inner spirit, our third eye, and attempt to continue the love in Chicago. I mean, what else do you got, Chicago? You gonna either stay a war zone or you gonna start a change. You can't go backwards now. This is the real thing, because if Kenneka Jenkins is not going to be in vain, her life, that is, the movement must continue. Well, what is the movement? The movement is love. The movement is change. The movement is a better day. I'm way out here in California, but I've been watching Chicago for the last damn near 4 years. 4 years, damn near. I've been watching you, Chicago, even before then. But just recently, I really got involved with Chicago and was on the internet and really involved in your story out there. Chicago, you are a powerful entity. I believe you have the movement right now. From the hip hop movement, of which many of your great talents have been mowed down in the streets. Do you know how many great rappers and artists Chicago has lost due to the senseless violence? And I'm calling it senseless only because us as a people, the melaninated people, must grow. Chicago would tell you that they're dealing with things based on things that make a lot of sense to them. Listen, when does it end? You had the president speaking about sending the feds in there. What does that mean? That means lock up everybody, right? When the feds come, they lock up everybody, and not for a little time, for a long time. So that's still hovering over the heads of y'all in Chicago. The potential of the feds coming in. Kenneka Jenkins, for a moment, stop that. So if nothing else, all y'all out there in Chicago owe some homage to Kenneka Jenkins, because the feds was on their way to lock up everybody. And when they lock up the OGs and the young G's, you leave the babies out there to do it all over again. Imagine that. If you lock up the 16-year-olds, the 22-year-olds, 25-year-olds, right? But you leave the youngsters out there, the 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds. Well, what are they gonna grow up to do? 8, 9-year-olds. Their big brother got locked up. Their uncle got locked up. They're gonna grow up into the same madness. The only way to make a change is to start with us. It's just like me, for example. If I grew up in the hood, my goal is to not have my children grow up exactly like I grew up. It's that simple. The change starts with me. It's not a big old scheme, big plan, trying to figure this out, figure that. No. The change starts with, as they say, the man in the mirror. That's Michael Jackson, right? Chicago has lost countless artists. I'm talking about brilliant, talented individuals that would have made us feel great. They would have wowed us. Amazing. I'm serious. Go look on YouTube, type in Chicago artists, and type in the ones who have actually transitioned, the ones who are not here no more. Listen to their music. It's about 100 of them. Out of 100, you gonna love at least 50 of them, 40 of them, 30 of them. I mean, you gonna really love about 30 of them. Like, damn, this shit is tight. But they never got a chance. They never got a chance to grow. It's only a few of them that made it. You know about the Chief Keefs, the Little Dirks, and there's others out there too. But it's so many more that could have been. But it's a war out there in Chicago, and they have to stop it. They have to say no more. So to my brothers out there in Chirac, Chicago, I really wish y'all would come up with a new name. I respect you. You know, if you want to have it as Chirac, but it's been that way for so many years. I wish y'all can just get back to another name, take it from that war zone type of thing to something new. Because it's kind of sickening to keep hearing about all of the killing that's happening out there in Chicago. All of the lives that are being taken that could blossom. The great minds, the individuals who would add to the world, but we never get a chance or opportunity to see the blessings because their lives are cut down so shortly. Chicago is the next big thing, y'all. We always talk about Atlanta, but Chicago is the next big thing. And you can start by just loving yourself and stopping the violence, the killings, building something for y'all. Y'all out there by yourself. We sympathize with y'all, but y'all pretty much are out there by yourself. And y'all got to figure out a way to slow down the violence. Y'all got to. It's just no other way around it. It's no other way around it. And if y'all do that, Chicago, there's a mighty blessing waiting for y'all because y'all already got everything that it takes. I've been watching y'all for about 4 years. And y'all are the next biggest thing to take over. If y'all can just cut out the violence and be about success. I believe in you, Chicago. And Kenneka Jenkins is your angel giving you a new start. You had others. She's not the first, but she's right now. But any other angel that you want to bring into the equation as an angel of Chicago to give y'all a brighter day, bring them into the equation and make that brighter day. Because you, Chicago, are powerful. And I'm way out here in Cali, but I can see the power. And I'm praying for you, my brothers and sisters out there in Chicago. And I hope you all take this moment in time with Kenneka Jenkins. And even if you can't win against the hotel or the police department, the city and whatnot, you can win amongst yourselves. Y'all love each other. And I hope I see a brighter day. This goes out to Chicago. In the name of Sister Kenneka Jenkins, Chicago, please do better, y'all. One love.